There's been a lot of discourse surrounding Apple Music's top 100 albums of all time list that they've been gradually rolling out for the past, week, I think. I took a peek at it the other night, and this was before they unveiled what they believe are the top 10 albums of all time. And there was one placement that I felt was so fucking egregious. Taylor Swift's 1989 at number 18, 3 spots above Revolver by the Beatles, and 2 spots above Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. Both of those albums are some of the greatest of all time, still very much beloved in the near 50 years since they were released. And the impact those albums had on the industry is immense, but they take a backseat for the vapid pop album with some of the most annoying singles I have ever heard. Not to mention 1989 earned a higher spot than albums by bands and artists such as Led Zeppelin, David Bowie, The Velvet Underground, Pink Floyd. And it wasn't even the original version of the album that was played everywhere 10 years ago. It's the remake she made around a year ago, I think. I heard she's been doing remakes of her old albums because she was screwed over by a producer or some shit. I don't fucking know the whole story. And honestly, I don't really care because I don't listen to Taylor Swift. Her fans think she's really sticking it to the man when she's a multi-billionaire who's causing immeasurable damage to the Earth's climate from her erroneous amount of private jet flights. But yeah, when I was initially looking at this list, I was like, God, this is such fucking bullshit. But then I was like, why should I care? There is no list of this nature in existence that will make everyone happy. Everyone is going to have a problem with this placement, or this album not making the cut, or that artist not even making the cut. It's arbitrary bullshit at the end of the day. This list is by no means a definitive ranking of these albums because such a thing does not fucking exist. Music is incredibly subjective. One's top 100 albums of all time is going to look very different from another person's top 100 albums of all time. That's why I'm choosing not to put any stock in lists like this anymore, because why should I? Plenty of the albums and artists that ranked below Taylor Swift are some of my favorites of all time, and do their rankings on this list diminish any love I have for these albums and artists? Absolutely not. I don't need a mega corporation like Apple, or a bullshit music publication like Rolling Stone to validate my music taste, and neither should you. A lot of these lists these corporations and publications come up with are nothing more than engagement forms. They are designed to make you angry. Because they know when a lot of people see that their favorite artist was snubbed in favor of a vastly inferior one, they're gonna take it to social media and complain about it. And those who are fans of the inferior artists are probably gonna argue with those people to defend the artist that they love oh so much. And mission accomplished on the part of Apple Music and Rolling Stone and all these other places that make these stupid ass lists. It got people to talk about them, it brought engagement their way, it brought clicks their way, and in Apple's case, it probably got some people to sign up for their music service. Lists of this nature made by major publications and corporations are often not made by genuine music fans, but rather people driven by profit motive who meticulously order these lists in such a way they know will garner the most discourse. The more people talk about and get outraged over these lists means more people going over to your site, seeing the advertisements on it, and bringing more money your way, or going over to your platform, increasing the likelihood of more people subscribing to it. And this isn't to say all music rankings and reviews are inherently bullshit meant to make people angry and drive up clicks. I used to like watching a channel called Cover Killer Nation. Anyone remember that guy? He retired from YouTube some years ago, and he primarily talked about rock and metal bands. He would do videos where he would rank a band's discography, and there were plenty of times where I would disagree with the placement of an album, or there would be some album reviews he would put out that I wouldn't entirely agree with, or let's go with an even more popular and even more controversial example, Anthony Fantano. I have majorly disagreed with plenty of his takes, like his Fear Inoculum review, for example. What in the fuck was that video? But at least with people like independent YouTubers, I know I am getting a genuine opinion from someone who is genuinely passionate about music. And it's not some hollow corporation or publication that only care about engagement and clicks and people checking out their product. Their word is not gospel. What they say is not inherently worth more than your average music fan. In fact, since these lists from these entities are nothing nothing more than engagement farms first and foremost. I'd say their word is worth even less than your average Joe who is a music fan. And I'm honestly a little ashamed of myself for getting mad at Apple Music's stupid list initially, because getting upset at lists like this give them a degree of legitimacy they do not deserve. The correct response to a list like this would be, oh, a mega corporation thinks it has the authority to declare what are the 100 best albums of all time. Who gives a rat's ass what they think? It's not like this list was made by people who actually give a fuck about music. And that's how I'm going to be from here on out. If Spotify wants to do something similar, whatever. If Rolling Stone wants to revise their 500 greatest songs of all time list again, whatever. I like what I like, and I don't need any validation from anyone else, especially not a corporation and a shitty music publication. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.